Texture plus color equals really cool things. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today's card project features a really cool 3D embossing folder combined with some cool tones in rainbow order, and I love the results. This is such a cool way to just add some interest to any background panel that you're working with. Top it with any greeting you like, and a beautiful card ensues. I mean, dude, right? Look at that. To see that card project, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'll be using to create my card today. This is a stamp set I designed called Spring in My Step, which just has a lot of really encouraging greetings, lots of ideas that you could use with this greeting set. And I have the coordinating dies as well. And then I'm going to use this embossing folder. Look at that cool pattern. It's just a really cool folder, and I'm really excited to use this for today's card project. So I'm going to grab some inks, and we're going to get started first with ink blending a panel. So I will go grab some stamp inks. I'm just going to ink blend a really simple panel with a few colors on the cooler side of the rainbow. I'm going to load up my brush here. Maybe tap a little off. I'm just going to come in at an angle and work my way down. So that is the basic blend that I'm going to do. And I'm just going to let this sit for a second because these colors are really going to smooth out together. Let me get set up to emboss. Before I emboss, I'm going to trim my panel down just a little bit with one of my waffle flower dies here so that I can have a nice panel, but I do want to make sure, oh yeah, these greetings would all work with this panel. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm just making a pretty background. You know, we're just making a pretty background with texture, and I think this is going to look really good. So I'm going to tilt that a little so that when it goes through the rollers, it doesn't take that full brunt of just a long, wide, flat edge, and we'll go ahead and cut that out. So now I have my panel for my card, and this is what I'm going to emboss. So this is a sandwich I've been playing around with lately, and I do have, oh, I'm throwing things. I am going to be trying out the new Spellbinders plates soon. That is going to be happening. But what I have been doing lately is I've been taking my package, right? Just pop that in like that. And maybe another shim of cardstock will be needed. So let me find a piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray a little bit of water on the back of this. I don't need it to be on the front. I don't want that reactive effect. But I'm going to get this ready and hopefully, okay, nubby side is on the bottom because I want to push the design up into the colored side that I've ink blended on. So I'm going to just set that right there. And I'll do a light spray on the back side over here, just a few sweeps like that. Place it down, doesn't matter if it's top or bottom. Close it. Okay, now we're in there. Yeah, maybe I'll make it a little straighter. Try that. I think that's fine. As long as the whole pattern is encompassed. All right, let's see if this works. I'm gonna put an extra piece of cardstock down. I'm gonna slide this over here a little bit so it doesn't hit. And let's see, will that go? No, I don't know. This is where I start to have issues. Maybe I need just a single sheet of cardstock. One of these days, right? Okay, hold that there. Let's get a single sheet. I think this is the pressure that I need. There you go. Yes, yes, that feels good. Okay, that's been my makeshift sandwich for these 3D embossing folders. All right, let's pull you out and look at that. Oh, it's so cool. Look at that. Isn't that cool? There's just so much texture to it, right? And oh, I love it. Different layers. Yeah, very, very cool. All right, let's get ready to create a greeting. Something I don't do very often is emboss with white powder on a darker cardstock base. And I actually think I've got a couple purples here that might be really nice for a greeting, right? To do thank you for being you, a deep purple right in the center. I might actually do a couple just to see what I think. Maybe you're my favorite or thank you for being you. So that's the plan. I'm going to cut these pieces down just a little bit. Yeah, that should be enough. Then I'll cut a little bit of this too. I always save my scraps. I never throw anything away. I've got a little shelf behind me in the craft/dining room where I keep all the extra paper. That's where I pulled these from. So I think that'll be pretty. I might change my mind, but we're going to flip this around. I think thank you for being you would be really pretty on this because it would allow the rest of the pattern to show. And, you know, I think we need to remind people how great they are. So let's do that. You can always do extras and then, well, you have extras, right? Not so bad. Let's take our anti-static powder tool. This is the one from Tailored Expressions. Get all my powder. Don't be so aggressive, Kath. Right, powder up. Then I'll grab my Versamark pad. And I want to grab my powder so I'm ready to go. It is going to be my Simon powder there. And we'll just ink this up really well. Bring it down and transfer. Let that ink transfer and make sure that my paper doesn't move. I'm going to hit it one more time. Oh, with actual we're gonna use ink there. Oh, there you go. Let's go one more time and transfer the ink. Perfect. All right, I'll just sprinkle on the fine detail white powder here, like that. Okay, let it sit for a second and like that. Get a nice coating. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to take my little fine brush where there's little bits here and brush away any areas where it sticks. You don't have to do this, but if you want to have the cleanest embossed impression possible, you know, these little thin brushes are really nice for this, and they're firm, but any little brush will do. Actually, I might stamp that one more time just to get a really great coating. I don't often do that, and someone had suggested to me to try it, so I'm going to grab my MISTI back out here. Mostly the reason I don't do it is because of the warpage, but let's see. I mean, can I? Oh, I just bent that. Let's see if I put all my magnets down. Oh, now I'm putting my hands all over. This could be a hot mess, but let's powder a little more like that. Okay. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, I'm going to redo it, but when in Rome. All right. I think we're going to line up perfectly. Give that another pop here. Take it off. All right, let's sprinkle on the powder like this. And how much stuck? Oh gosh, so much stuck. I don't think I should have done that. All right, we're gonna sweep a bunch off. That's where my thumbs were. Actually, that's not bad. I swept away most. So let's just reheat it. I just thought it would give me a nicer impression. Let's take a look at that. I mean, yeah, that's better. It's a little thicker. Kind of like that. All right, I don't know if I'll do that all the time, but it really depends on your cardstock. So let me grab the coordinating die and we'll cut this out. Got the coordinating die taped into place. We'll just pop this onto the platform and run it through. Ouch. Oh my gosh, I'm trying not to get my focus. I'm experimenting with some locked focuses for you today because, you know, sometimes when you film with the iPhone, it changes the focus, and I apologize for that. So we're working to improve that, but that is my sweet little greeting. I think that looks nice. I'm gonna make a white note card. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. I just think white is really gonna look nice with this because of the white embossing. So we'll score that a 5 1/2. I'm going to fold this down and use my Teflon bone folder. Give that a nice press. Next, I will tape it closed because, oh, that was way too much tape. I need my panels to be flat and put that inside to keep it nice and flat. I'm going to grab some foam tape and some foam squares so that I can finish out this card. I'm going to use some of the new Simon 3D foam squares, and there is a difference between these two packets. One includes both black-based foam and white, and one is just the white. However, these are a 0.04 depth, and these are the 0.08 depth. So what that means is if I take these out, one is thicker, one is thinner. See that? So it really depends on what style you like. I think for this particular card, I am going to go with the thicker version because I like it to pop up a little more when there's very little happening. I like to use this little friend to just sort of come into places that are very small so I can clearly see where I'm placing it. And I actually feel like that's enough. You know, I am an over-adheser, but I believe, oh, it's gonna have such a great float. Okay, I did put foam tape all over the back just to really support this because, you know, once you use a 3D embossing, even on some heavier cardstock, sometimes, you know, it has a little give still. And I just want this to be as centered as possible, like that. Yeah, it's probably good. Right about there. All right, I don't know why this looks longer at the bottom. You know, if you're ever doing this with a card and you think, why is that longer? Here's what you can do. Just trim it. It's not much. It's just there's just a little. I don't know if I cut this off a tiny bit, but I'm just gonna go. And I feel like that looks more even. I'm gonna take the backers off here. Like that. Then I will pick this up, hold onto it, and use a little bit of my liquid glue. So we'll just pop that on there. Just to give it a little float time, a little wiggle room. And we're just gonna put this smack dab in the center. Sure. Yeah. That looks good. Like that, and press. I just think this is lovely with all that texture. Let's bring this up here so you can see that. And it just feels so good, right? That's so easy to do. Blend, emboss that texture, and add a very simple greeting. Let's add a little shine. I have been obsessed with this, what is it called? This Calls for Confetti Moonstone. And also this Calls for Confetti now sells the individual little friends here. I have this whole thing by Elizabeth Ward that keeps all of these contained nicely, comes with all of them. But now if you shop at This Calls for Confetti, they sell these, I think, for $1 each or something. They're just very nice for labeling and keeping together. And yeah, I think that's really fun. So let me get my arrangement. I think I'm just going to go with, I'm going to tuck you. See this Moonstone, once I tilt it, you'll see it kind of picks up the color of whatever is behind it too. Granted, it does have a definite purple cast to it. So let's come here, maybe just one up here. Maybe I only need 5 today. There's so much going on already on a card like this that you don't really need a lot. And so I feel like, bring you down a little. I try to keep the spacing about the same. Let's just go with that. I think that's nice. Very simple. And we'll go ahead and add these on. I'm going to add a little, well, I'm going to try to nestle it in between the bumps of the embossing. So let's get you there. Boop. Oh, I need more. Okay, we're going to have to float it a bit. There we go. And actually I just got glue on my tip and I'll wipe that away later. Okay, it's gotta sit right on the right on one of these friends. Boop. And it will work because it will glue, it will hold down. So much texture here, right? Boop. Oh, see, I'm transferring a little more. I'll wipe that down. And and boop, the last one. Boop. There we go. So fun. I love it. That is super fun, right? So much good texture and you can really see it, right? There's different layers and it really didn't affect the color at all. I think that is just such a cool embossing folder. I absolutely love it. And that is the finished card project. I hope this inspires you to play with color and texture together because it's a really great way to create a simple design, but something that really adds that unexpected tactile feel, and it looks fantastic as well. And it's so easy to do with these 3D embossing folders. If you like 3D embossing, I've got a couple more videos for you to check out that you might find interesting, so I will see you in those videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here with another card project soon.